Hello to our day school community. We are so excited about the first day of school approaching for both our main school students as well as our toddler school students. Please watch this video for all of the important details concerning the first week of school as well as the first 6 weeks of school. Let's get into it. This year, our Parent Society came up with an awesome idea, which was to allow parents to drop off school supplies early before the first day of school. So with this in mind, the Day School for Children is allowing parents to drop off their school supplies starting tomorrow, which is Tuesday, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., as well as this Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please feel free to drop off the school supplies at your designated school. So that means that if you are a toddler parent, you will drop off your school supplies at the toddler school. If you are a main school parent, you will drop off your school supplies at the main school. Please make sure that your school supplies are labeled with your child's name on them, because the front office will be checking off to see what school supplies have been dropped off by each family. And if there are school supplies that are still remaining on the list, the front office will remind you. So thank you so much for helping us to have an awesome first week of school. The second announcement is that the first day of school for our main school students, which includes Classroom A1 to Classroom C, is this Thursday with doors opening at 8 a.m. This means that doors will not open prior to 8 a.m. for the first day of school. It's really important that for the first day of school that we have a certain process to allowing the kids to, go into their classrooms, put everything where it needs to go. So again, for the first day of school for our main school, which is this Thursday, the doors will open at 8 a.m. We also will have a school photographer who will take a photo with each family with their child at the front foyer area. You also will receive a digital version of that photo as well once the photos are ready. Also important to note that our students are to be in full traditional uniform even though it is a Thursday. So we know that our normal uniform schedule is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, traditional uniform, Tuesdays and Thursdays, gym uniform. But for the first day of school, we are requesting that all students are in their traditional uniform. This means that girls should be in a day school jumper with a collar shirt underneath and school shoes. Boys should be in a day school vest, a collar shirt underneath, khaki pants, brown or blue, and school shoes. This is just for the first day of school. Again, when they come back on Friday, the very next day for their next day of school, they will be again in their traditional uniform. This is just our traditional way for the first week of school. For our toddler students, their first day of school will be this Friday with doors opening at 8:15 a.m. That means that doors will not open prior to 8:15 a.m. on Friday for the toddler school. Their first day of school again is this Friday at 8:15 a.m. There will also be a school photographer, just like at the main school, also will be at the toddler school. And so with this in mind, please be sure to drop off your toddler at a prompt time so that you do not miss the school photographer that will be available when the doors open. It is also important to note that for the first day of school for our toddler students, that they are of course to be in their traditional uniform. It is also a Friday, so it actually fits with their schedule. But please make sure that all day school students who are joining the toddler school are in those traditional uniforms. So again, toddler girls are to be in their day school jumper, collar shirt, school shoes, and toddler boys are to be in their day school vest, collar shirt, khaki pants, and brown or blue, and school shoes. The next announcement is concerning parent orientation. Parent orientation is this Saturday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. It is very important that every single student is represented, especially if your student is moving into a new classroom or if you would like to meet the new parents that are part of our school environment. We believe that it is really important to use the parent orientation as a way to, again, connect with the teachers, but also to meet the new families that are part of your child's classroom, especially if you are a returning parent. The other thing too with parent orientation is that in the event that you cannot make it, we do ask that you send a representative. So that can be a family member, an aunt or uncle, someone who can come, who, let's just say you may have questions that you want to ask the teacher. That person can be responsible to bring back any important information for the school year. Starting next week will be our first full week of school. This is when our before care will begin. If you desire before care, which runs from 7 a.m. to 7:30, please see Miss Dixie at the front office to obtain a before care and after care form. We will have aftercare offers starting next week as well. Aftercare runs from 5:30 to 6 p.m. So please note to pick up your child on time on this week, which is again Thursday and Friday, but starting next week, that is when before and after care will start. start. As we go into the full week for both schools, the main school and the toddler school, that is when our traditional uniform schedule will go into effect. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are traditional days. That's where girls are in their jumpers and boys are in their vests. Tuesdays and Thursdays are gym days, where all of our students, both the main school and the toddler school, will be in their day school polos, khaki pants. Girls can wear skirts. Boys can also wear shorts. Girls can wear shorts, as well as their sneakers. Some other things that are very important to note as we go into the beginning of the school year is to label everything. You may think that your child has the only unicorn backpack or the only Paw Patrol backpack in the school, but as I'm sure you know, many of our students are going to have similar items, including their uniforms. So with this being said, we ask parents to find the label tag that's on the interior of the piece of clothing and to initial your child's clothing or by writing their first name. You can also purchase pre-made fabric labels from certain sites online that already have your child's full name printed on them. And these fabric labels you can stick right on the inside of the clothing, and they also are washable. So I would definitely recommend using some of those as the year moves forward. The other thing that's important to note are lunches. So at the day school, it is important that we're able to provide lunch to our students within a timely manner. And with that, there are a couple of things that our teachers would desire to share with you concerning lunches. When it comes to lunches, you want to make sure the items are already cooked. So what this means is that, let's say for instance, you have a pack of ramen noodles that you are going to have for your child to eat. It is important the ramen noodles are already cooked and then placed in a microwavable container. When items take more than 2 minutes to make, it backs up all of the other lunches that has to be made for all the other students. And then on top of that, it's adding on time in which your child is already waiting to eat. And so it's really important that all food is already made prior to arriving to school, then placed in a microwavable container so that all the staff has to do when it comes to lunchtime is just heat up and then bring out for their child to eat. So with that in mind, we also ask that with lunch boxes that they're labeled so that on the interior of the lunchbox, or even on the outside, we know whose lunchbox belongs to who. Again, there are ways in which a child can put a lunchbox on a counter in the kitchen and someone puts the same identical lunchbox next to theirs. And in that split second, we do not know whose lunchbox belongs to who. So this is why it's important to label the lunchboxes. But also too, with our lunch schedule, the way that we go is by uniforms. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are traditional uniforms. That is when we ask for parents to pack a cold lunch. Tuesdays and Thursdays, are our gym days, which are the polos and the khaki pants and the sneakers. That is when we ask parents to pack a hot lunch. The reason why we have this schedule now is that it makes prepping lunch for our staff a lot easier because again, we have such a small window between teaching time and then prepping for lunchtime and then get ready for some students, it's going to sleep. For other students, it's going back to class. So we want to make sure that we're able to keep their schedule the way that it should be so that they can have an amazing school day. If you have any questions, be sure to use ProCare to send your questions so that we can easily get back to you. Please also make sure that you've referenced the onboarding parent pack for all things concerning supply lists, uniforms, and the school calendar. Have a great rest of your day. We cannot wait to see you, whether you're dropping off supplies early on Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or seeing you for your first day of school. If you're a main school student, we'll see you on Thursday at 8 a.m. And if you are a toddler parent or toddler student, we'll see you on Friday at 8:15 a.m. Remember, all students are to be in full uniform, traditional uniform jumpers and day school vests on these first 2 days of school. Okay? Have a blessed day, everyone, and we'll see you soon.